TikTok nods to songwriters. Keep an eye on threads, and you never know where a viral phenomenon is going to come from. Welcome to the Unlimited Supply Podcast, your daily music business TLDR in your ear, powered by a punishing amount of TikTok scrolling, and brought to you by NoDisc, helping music, technology, and finance companies navigate the music industry, and partnered with Digital Music News. It's July 23rd, 2025, and I'm Lars Murray. It's Viral Wednesday, but before we do the viral verse, I'm going to talk my own book here for a minute. Most of you know that one of my daily hustles is PopCult Worldwide, which for the past few years has been doing audio and video storytelling in partnership with the music industry. We've worked with everybody from Verve Records to Metallica to Disney, creating shows and helping artists, labels, and rights holders take control of their narratives in an increasingly algorithm-driven music industry. The same way it's important to own your data and your fan relationships, it's also important to own your narrative, and for catalog owners in particular, to make sure your stories are being told. So that's why it feels great to announce the launch of Why This Song, a series of short video and audio documentaries based around individual songs and why they resonated in the culture. Big kudos to Tricia Rice and Thomas Scherer over at BMG for having the vision to create a show like this to tell stories about songs in BMG's very rich catalog. And of course, kudos to my PopCult Worldwide business partner, Dennis Scheyer, the creative madman making the whole thing happen. An episode on the Thompson Twins' Hold Me Now launched yesterday. You can check out Why This Song as a podcast and on YouTube. It's all at a link in the show notes. All right, let's jump into the viral verse. Speaking of those rights holders, specifically publishers, they got a nice little nod from TikTok last week, as TikTok is starting to include credits for songwriters alongside those of artists on the platform, and they're allowing songwriters to identify as such rather than just letting artists take all the credit. I'm struggling to think of another platform that explicitly credits songwriters. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this feels actually pretty innovative, platforming the songwriters independent of the recordings of their songs. It's a pretty shrewd move by TikTok. After all, it can't be wildly expensive to add another tag to their massive database of creators, and certainly it won't hurt their relationships with the songwriting community that usually has to fight for its due. It'll be interesting to see how songwriters take advantage of this feature. If you're a songwriter using it, feel free to reach out and let me know how it's going. It's not clear whether this will have much effect on music marketers, but over at social media today, Andrew Hutchinson is reporting that US-based social platforms are facing increasing governmental friction in the EU and other territories outside the US. Meta and X in particular are facing fines for not complying with EU regulations. It appears the administration has their backs, but all of this is tied up in the emerging global trade war. It's a multifaceted, complex, and maybe a little boring issue, but it's worth keeping an eye on, especially if you are marketing internationally. Andrew Hutchinson's also been keeping an eye on Edits. Edits, of course, is Meta's upstart competitor to TikTok's CapCut video creation software. Edits is playing catch-up to CapCut, but it's attracting a lot more attention from creators as TikTok and CapCut hang in the balance in the US. Edits just added 2 new music features this past week. One was improved keyframe editing, which will make inserting music into posts more precise. The other is an addition of a royalty-free music library, which is probably more of a benefit to creators than to music rights holders. On the one hand, it's sure to reduce infringing uses of music by big and small companies in their social posts. On the other hand, these companies now have a free and easy way to put music in their posts without paying rights holders. In the long term, it should reduce litigation, which is probably a good thing, and it may help right-size the market to rationalize pricing of music usage on the socials. And social media today just keeps on giving this week. The other development worth keeping an eye on is the continued growth of Threads, which has now passed 350 million monthly active users and growing, closing in on Twitter, which is at 600 million and falling. Meta has been moving aggressively to sign up Facebook and Instagram users on Threads and drive them to the platform. Pretty successfully, if you ask me. So if you're marketing on X and Threads has not been in your toolbox, it's time to take another good hard look at it. All right, let's get into what's actually viral this week. You never know where a viral phenomenon is going to come from. And how about this one?
Nothing beats a Jet2 Holiday.
It's a Jet2 Holiday. Because the narrative...
Nothing beats a Jet2 Holiday. Nothing beats a Jet2 Holiday.
So y'all know that nothing beats a Jet2 Holiday sound that's trending? You gotta know it. Everybody know it.
It's been blowing up TikTok with 1.3 million videos created, largely concerning various vacation disasters. The magic combination of the voice of actress Zoe Lister and Jess Glynne's 2015 song Hold My Hand has taken over TikTok in recent weeks, prompting explainer articles in mainstream publications like Forbes and the New York Times. It's also not bad for UK airline Jet2, whose search traffic has quadrupled over the past week, according to Google Trends. Interestingly, while the song and the clip have blown up and Hold My Hand has not yet blasted up the Shazam or Spotify viral charts, another Jess Glynne track, Clean Bandit's Rather Be, on which she sings, has ridden Jess Glynne's coattails to number 43 on the global Shazam viral chart. Not bad for a singer who a short while ago was considering quitting the business. Hope she hung on to her rights. We'll cover that in chapter 26 of my book, Don't Sell Your Catalog. Our viral correspondent Lydia Valentino is in this week. What have you got for us, Lydia?
So Be It, a highlight off Clips' excellent comeback album Let God Sort 'Em Out, peaks at number 2 on US viral Spotify. While its music video came out in June, it wouldn't arrive on streaming services until the album dropped last week. This was because of a sample clearance issue, with the initial release, titled So Be It Part 2, having a really rough organ-based instrumental and lower vocal fidelity. Fortunately, the sample got cleared a few hours later, and the song is now listenable the way it should be. My Main by Mila J, an intensely 2014 song complete with a Ty Dolla $ign feature and Mustard production, was used in 4,000 TikToks on Sunday. A dance trend with a whoa 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 in the chorus really does it all. Since the audio isn't listed as by Mila J, I do wonder how many people thought it was by her younger sister, Janae Aiko.
Thank you, Lydia. As always, you can check out Lydia's V30 chart on YouTube, and there's a link in the show notes. And that's another Viral Wednesday. Finally, I'm willing to admit I was a little bit snobby about Ozzy Osbourne and Iron Maiden back in my youth. And maybe that extended into my adulthood, honestly, but as I've gotten older, it's become clear how musically influential Ozzy and Black Sabbath really were, and it's hard to deny the greatness of a Paranoid or a Crazy Train. And while at the time it felt like the Osbournes applied the final blow to MTV as an actual music channel, if it wasn't them, it probably would have been somebody else that killed off classic MTV. Ozzy was creating viral moments before we even had the word viral. You never know where a viral phenomenon is going to come from. Back in the school that he never finished, Ozzy Osbourne certainly never would have been voted most likely to change the culture, but arguably, brain cell for brain cell and pound for pound, Ozzy Osbourne created as much lore and touched as many fans as any artist of his era from nothing, and that deserves some respect. And what an exit. He played his final show just 2 Saturdays ago in his hometown of Birmingham at Villa Park. That is lore. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Support for the Unlimited Supply podcast comes from Roy-Fi. They do not lack any brain cells. If you're a label distributor or publisher and want to take advantage of other people's money and technology to provide advances, let's talk. You know where to find me. And we're also supported by Hangout.fm. Hangout by Turntable Labs is the new social listening platform where users connect, discover new music, and play over 100 million songs with their friends and family. If you like what you hear, please hit that follow button wherever you get your pods. I live for your praise and encouragement, but don't just tell me. Seriously, it only matters if you drop us a rating and or a review on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or Spotify, and tell a friend or 3. Links are in the show notes, but you can also visit unlimitedsupplypod.com to sign up for our newsletter, to tell us what you think about the show, to suggest feature ideas, to feed us info, to feed us lunch, to call us out on our dubious assertions, and to tell us what we're missing out on. I'm Lars Murray, and remember, in this business, no conflict means no interest.
Nothing beats
the Jet2 Holiday. You could say so.
Darling, hold my hand. Darling, hold my hand. Nothing. Darling, hold my hand. Darling, hold my hand. Darling, hold my hand. Darling, hold my hand. Nothing beats a Jet2 Holiday.